So here we have the HissTank driver that comes with the HissTank version 5. It reuses the head of the HissTank driver from the 25th anniversary line, which is this guy right here, but we'll talk more about him later. Then it also has the bottom legs as well as the upper torso of the 25th anniversary battle armor Cobra Commander. So this figure right here. All they've done is they've painted the legs and then left the rest of the body unpainted. This body was also used for the Iron Grenadier, so it'll be interesting. At the time of filming this video, we're waiting for Wave 5 and Wave 6 of what's being called Pursuit of Cobra. Don't believe it's going to be under the Renegade's name. So it will be interesting to see if we'll get an all-new take on the Iron Grenadier, or if we're going to end up with just a single pack repaint of the Iron Grenadier that came in the comic pack. So speaking of comic packs, it also uses the chest armor from what was called the Resolute Pilot Destro at the time. I mean, now the 7 packs of Resolute have come out, so there's a new Resolute Destro, but at the time that was the Resolute Destro that we had gotten so far. So he comes with a little gun right there. There's a closer look at the backpack right there. And then here's the 25th anniversary HissTank driver. So with these two figures here, you can actually see where they did, you know, with some new parts of course, but they did still get the same look, I think. You know, you have the chest armor plate here, same thing here. I don't really have anywhere where these leg pieces have, or straps have been used before on this figure. But if you notice, you know, we'll turn it backwards so you can probably get a better view. You've got these kind of like thigh-high armor or boots or something on this side, and so it's kind of nice how they were able to use the, you know, without changing it at all, they were able to achieve that same look with these legs. You know, all they did was paint the lower half, it looks like, and the top half is just plastic, maroon colored plastic. So yeah, I was just noticing that they did pretty good on recreating the figure with even different parts. So here we have the HissTank version 5. As you can see, it's rather wide, rather large, not very high, but later when we do the dual attack mode, where there's a second attack mode, we'll show you that it does actually get quite some height to it. But to show you the size comparison, here's the closest thing that I have to a HissTank version 1. Had to use it as my 1 for the intro, but it's actually a repaint variant of the HissTank version 1. So there's a front view of it, and we'll try and get a side view comparison of them. There's sort of a side view there. Got it basically side up to the guns, basically the nose of this one up to the guns right here. So there's quite a bit of tail sticking back, but it's kind of good that the tail is there, because I think everyone's probably had issues with this, but as cool as the moving treads are, they don't always move so well. And if you try and use it up here, you risk bending this staff here, and we'll get into more of what this is and how it plays out, but, or at least how I see that it plays out. But not only do you have to worry about pushing that and possibly bending it, but there's actually this button right up here that releases the hook underneath in order to allow this to go to the dual mode. And if you're got your hands like this, you risk pushing that button as well. So I believe that's what this tail back here is for. And as long as you go pretty slow, it can go, and it can even climb over that little staff right there. But yeah, you do have to be careful, because the other thing I noticed too is this area right here, how it's angled like that. When you push too much pressure down on it, it actually catches these. But really rather cool, and you know, as long as you are like, this is like its stationary position, and then when it's actually moving, that's when you spring it up and it attacks. We'll show you that one more time. So that's more of its attack mode, and you can push it a little bit better. And then the best part, I think, is the 360 degree. So very, very cool. We got the staff again. Very much, you know, like what many people have said, it's got a science fiction feel to it. Every time I see this and the shape and everything, and then the fact that, unlike the previous HissTanks where there's actually been, you know, a glass cockpit, you can't actually see anything, you know, through any glass or anything like that. So it's got very much of a, to me, a Terminator feel to it every time I look at it, with its shape and everything. So then we'll show you that the guns, even though they have their own kind of predetermined locations on here, and the reason why I say that is because if you want to use this as a Gatling gun, it has a belt of ammo that attaches to this ammo feed here, and then also to the side here. And if you move the gun, it stays with it quite a bit, but if you move it over to the other side, you can't reach the ammo to there. But if you really don't worry about that, and you just want to see it as a laser gun and not necessarily a Gatling gun, then you can put them side by side like that. Or there's also been some people that have pushed it and put them underneath like that. But again, the other thing that makes you want to usually keep them where they are, unless you also think they look better on the side here. Like they showed you in the back of the box. Besides having the ammo clip that makes you most likely want to keep it with the Gatling gun on the left hand side and the missile launcher on the right hand side, or pulse cannon, how you want to see it, is they added another fun play feature, and that is this red button right here. When you push that, it moves the guns at the same time. So again, if you have the Gatling gun or the missile launcher on a different side, you don't get that same look. Because here they are on the underside, and even though I'm moving that switch, it doesn't move them. But it's very nice that they put all these different ways that you can use it. You know, if you need to dual move them, you can do it with the button. If you want to achieve different looks, you can do that. I have read that you can't put any of the mech attachments on this. I guess the holes are different or smaller.